compost. We just got to make some more. Hi, I'm Annette and welcome to Kitchen Garden Farmhouse. Today I'm going to be going over with you facts versus myths when it comes to composting. You know, composting is one of the easiest and best things that we can do when it comes to the overall health and fertility of our gardens. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be giving you some bonus tips. So let's get started. Let's take time to build your garden. Myth: composting is just too complicated. It's just too hard. Well, the matter of the fact is, composting does not have to be complicated, nor does it have to be hard. It's going to be according to how much time you have to invest in that compost pile, where you live, how much space you have in maintaining a compost pile. So it determines on you and what works best for you. Remembering there are so many different ways that we can compost, we are not limited to just one way of composting. Look at that tree in the background back there. I'm gonna come in a little bit closer. See all the leaves that's on the florist floor around that tree? Natural organic material wants to decompose. And so as these leaves fall and the rains come and applies moisture, it's going to help break those leaves down over time by just doing nothing to it, because the microbes in the soil around that tree is going to help with that process. So even in nature, things are decomposing all the time. Myth: you have to follow a certain recipe. Even though there's really good recipes out there, you don't have to precisely follow a certain recipe in order to be successful with your compost pile. You can make your own recipe as far as that goes. The recipes are to be used as guidelines and work through it on what works best for you. As long as you have browns and as long as you have greens, and more browns than greens sometimes works good. Some people, they use 50-50. But you don't have to keep account of how many browns and greens you put in there. Just put it together and it's going to work out. And the beauty of it is, if you see at any time that your compost pile is becoming unbalanced, then you can either add or subtract according to what you need at that time. Myth: composting takes way too long. Actually, the fact of the matter is, composting doesn't have to take a long time. It all depends on how soon you want it. Do you want it sooner or do you want it later? There are some ways that you can compost. Yes, it is going to take a long time, anywhere from a year or more, but it doesn't have to be that way. Hot composting is not like that at all, but we have to be willing to maintain the pile. So it all depends on our time, how quick we want it, and how much time we have to invest in our compost pile. Because if you want your compost pile to decompose faster, we have to be willing to make sure the moisture content is at the right levels, and also we have to make sure that that pile gets turned. Myth: compost attracts rodents. If you're using dairy and meats and oils, yes, it is going to attract rodents along with dogs and cats. But the fact is, you don't have to use those items. You can just use kitchen scraps, garden scraps for your greens, and you can use leaves and cardboards for your browns, and you don't have to attract all those rodents. If you use an enclosed bin, that's another surefire way in making sure rodents does not get to your compost pile. However, I have always used an open ring, and I have never had problems with rodents because I don't use meats, dairies, and oils. I use leaves and I use kitchen scraps and garden scraps. Myth: compost piles smells bad. It doesn't have to be, and it's not supposed to be. If our compost pile smells bad, there's something that's not balanced. Now, if we're using meats and dairies and stuff like that, that might cause an odor, but that can be corrected by not using those ingredients. However, if you don't use those ingredients and your compost pile does smell bad, have an odor, then there's an imbalance. Either it's too wet or there's too many greens in it, too much nitrogen, and that can be corrected by just putting some more carbon in there, like your dry leaves or cardboard, hay or straw, whatever you're using for a brown. Myth: collecting kitchen scraps is messy. It's not supposed to be. If collecting your kitchen scraps is messy, then there's ways around that. You can get a compost crock that you can keep in your kitchen. There's even biodegradable liners that you can put in your crop, and all you have to do is just take it out, clean up as a breeze, and just put that in your compost pile. but that is not what I am currently doing. What I do is when I have kitchen scraps, I put it in a plastic bag, usually a bag from the grocery store or Walmart or something like that, and I put that in my freezer. And so when I get ready to use it, I have enough collected, and all I have to do is defrost it, and then it's ready to go. And the nice thing about that is when I freeze my kitchen scraps and defrost them, the structure of the cell walls in those vegetables are already somewhat breaking down. They're already soft, and really it helps them to biodegrade even faster. Myth: composting takes up a lot of space. Even though there are certain ways that we can compost and it will take up more space than others, it doesn't have to be that way. Some people compost in 5-gallon buckets, others compost in garbage cans and have been very successful. Not to mention that there's also different bins that you can buy that are smaller. You can actually compost in some of these smaller bins as little as 4 square feet. Now, I have a compost pile that I have started, and I have more ingredients to add to that pile today. So I'm going to be going over with you some bonus tips. One bonus tip is collect your browns ahead of time. If you live in an area where leaves are available, go ahead and collect those leaves, whether they're in your own yard or somebody else's yard or on the side of the road. Collect them and store them because they're going to come in handy when it's time to put your compost pile together. Here is my current compost pile that I'm working on. I made a ring out of a garden fence from Lowe's, and I overlaid it with chicken wire. The chicken wire is so the compost will stay in this ring a lot easier, because if not, the holes in the garden fence were too large. I'm going to add some browns. Now, these are leaves that I have collected, and they have gone through a mulcher. Another bonus tip is cut up your leaves either through a leaf mulcher or with a lawnmower. So here are some greens I have collected from the kitchen, and I have put these in my freezer to freeze them until I got ready to use them. Also, if you can get some coffee grounds from a local coffee shop, that would be a great source of nitrogen as well. Ideal situation, you will want to defrost your greens if you froze them before you add them to your compost pile, especially if you're doing a hot compost pile, because it would just cool it down too fast. Adding some more browns. In between your layering, always make sure that you give your compost pile some water, because you want it to have moisture like a wrung out sponge. That's going to help it to break down faster as well. You don't want your pile to dry out. Another bonus tip is to keep your compost pile covered. If you have it in an open ring like this, then you can use some kind of clamps to clamp the tarp down so the wind doesn't blow it off. By covering my compost pile with a tarp, it really helps it not to get too soggy when it rains. If this video was helpful to you, please take a moment to subscribe if you have not done so already, and giving the video a thumbs up and leaving a comment and sharing it with others will help Kitchen Garden Farmhouse channel to grow. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.